pretty sure.
Yeah!
Gotta get their fast shot.
Yeah!
Gotta get their fast shot! There it is.
Hello Britball Nation, welcome to the power rankings following week 7 of the BAFA Adult National Leagues. Before we crack on with the rankings, remember that you too can contribute to the growth of the game by liking and sharing these videos, submitting highlights of big plays from the weekend, or help DC become sustainable by heading to gofundme.com/doublecoverage. We want to keep bringing you 7 days a week of all things Britball, but the reality is without the community support we're counting down the weeks before we have to scale things back significantly. That said, on a lighter note, some big changes in this week's rankings, so let's jump into them. The Senators are winning, but lately they're winning ugly. A drop in form combined with strong performances from others on the rankings see them tumble a long way down. Still, a couple of the type of performances that they opened the season with and they'll likely rocket back up.
9.
It was a nice win from the Tigers, who have separated themselves from the pack in the NFC 2 North. Following a number of straight losses to the Roughnecks, the Tigers have really impressed in the last couple of weeks, their ever tough defense finally being complemented by an effective offense.
8.
A very nice win from the Romans that should probably see them climb even higher up the rankings, but other sides have also been having big weeks, hence the Romans stay put. Week 8 sees them welcome the Houghton Spartans for the first time this year, who held the Revolution to a modest victory. Might this be a trap game for Chester?
7.
Berkshire stay put at 7 and will likely stay mid-table so long as they perform to par during this middle section of their season. The Dreadnoughts and Bobcats should be competitive games, but otherwise it's not until they face the Cheetahs for a second time in week 16 that we'll really see whether the Renegades are ready to recapture a conference crown.
6.
The Leeds Bobcats continue to win big and only seem to be gaining momentum. They finally get their first home game of the year in week 8 and will be looking to post another comfortable victory that could see them continue to climb.
5.
A small rise for the Revs thanks to the Senators taking a tumble. All expectations will be that Shropshire should have few problems handling the Warhawks in week 8, and in fact anything less than the Revs' first burger of the season might well be seen as something of a disappointment after the Warhawks were burgered by the Bombers on Sunday in something of a shootout in Hull.
4.
Apache continued to hold the number 4 spot, but all eyes now turn to their week 8 clash in Cornwall. With both sides looking a cut above the rest of their conference so far, it's likely to all come down to back-to-back fixtures between these two teams in weeks 8 and 10.
3.
A slight slide for the Stallions, who we haven't seen since week 5. When we finally see them again in week 9, it will be against the Blitz B team that have been gaining momentum in recent weeks, so we'll be looking for a more competitive fixture than when these two teams last met.
2.
The Sharks climb into the number 2 spot following a hugely convincing performance against the Torbay Trojans. They broke out to an early lead and then built up momentum in the second half as they romped to their first 50 burger of the season. Against the Trojan side, they were only able to beat 6-0 in week 1. Certainly the Sharks are at their scariest at home in Newquay, which bodes well for their next fixture when pre-season conference faves, the Bristol Apache, come to town.
1.
And of course Hearts stay put in the top spot, though it might be a big ask for them to hold on to it as we don't see them in action again until week 10. A couple of big wins could yet dethrone the burgeriest team in the Britball Nation. And there you have it, Nation, the rankings for week 7 of the BAFA National Leagues. As always, we're really trying to start a conversation with these videos, so don't be shy and let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you liked it, a share on Facebook or a retweet on Twitter, as it only takes seconds but really helps us out in spreading Britball to the widest possible audience. Remember that as it's the BAFCA convention this coming weekend, there's no league fixtures and therefore there'll be no power rankings or highlights and probably no scoop. That said, DC are heading up to Nottingham for the convention, so we'll hopefully have an opportunity to bring you some insights from a really informative weekend. In the meantime, of course, as always, play hard, play safe, and make sure you check out last week's highlights where we had enough tape submissions to create videos for each of the 3 tiers.